Signs that both of you are actually thinking about each other. There is something powerful that happens when two people's minds start orbiting each other. You feel it in ways you can't explain. You catch yourself thinking of them out of nowhere, and somehow they text you at the same exact moment. Now, some will call it coincidence, but if you've ever felt that deep pull, like your hearts are in silent conversation, even when you're apart, you know it's more than just chance. Today I'm going to break down the real signs that both of you are thinking about each other. Not the generic recycled, you dream about them stuff you've heard 100 times. No, we are going deeper. Now by the end of this video, you know how to recognize those moments when the bond isn't just in your imagination. It's real, it's mutual, and it's powerful. Now why this matters? Most people think, missing someone or thinking of someone is one-sided. But often, when a connection is strong, it's not just she sitting there daydreaming, she's thinking of you too. The problem is, most men don't know how to read the signs. They dismiss the signals, overthink, or second guess themselves. But when you understand the signs, you unlock a different level of awareness. That you start seeing the subtle ways your energy, your thoughts, and your presence show up in her world, even when you are not there. So let's get right into today's video. The first sign is you reach out for each other at the same time. Have you ever gone to send a text only for her message to pop up first, or you're about to call and suddenly she's ringing your phone? That's not random. That's synchronicity. When two people are thinking about each other, their timing starts to align. The thought frequency is mutual and it bleeds into action. It feels like your minds are tuned into the same station and the song you're both humming is each other's name. Second sign, you feel random waves of emotion you can't explain. Sometimes you're fine 1 minute and then suddenly you feel this warmth, this longing, and even a rush of nervous energy. No trigger, no obvious reason. That's often a signal. Because when two people are connected, emotions can ripple like waves across distance. If you're suddenly thinking of her and smiling, chances are she's sitting somewhere with you flashing across her mind too. The third sign, her energy shows up in your day. Ever had a random reminder of someone appear again and again? Maybe her favorite song plays 3 times in one day. Maybe you keep seeing her name in the others places. Maybe a smell, her perfume, coffee, the lotion she uses floats past you, even when she's nowhere around. When this happens, it's not just nostalgia. It's often a reflection of the fact that your energy is pulling each other close. Now, because when both of you are thinking of each other, the world around you seems to echo it. Now, the fourth sign, you mirror each other's patterns. When she's thinking of you, you will notice little overlaps. You both stay up late the same night, tossing and turning. You both post something online that oddly connects. You both find yourselves humming the same tune. This is what I call mirroring from afar. It's like your bodies and minds are syncing, even though you are in different spaces. When you see these patterns, it's usually not an accident. The fifth sign, conversations pick up where the mind left off. Here's a subtle one. When you finally talk, she brings up the exact thing you were just thinking. Maybe you were about to mention a show and she says, I was just watching that. Or you were replaying a moment in your head and she suddenly says, do you remember when we did that thing last week? That's more than chemistry. That's mental overlap. It's what happens when two people are carrying each other in their thoughts. The sixth sign, you catch the same random urges. You're suddenly craving her favorite snack or she randomly messages you, are you hungry? When you were just about to grab food. Now, when two minds are wrapped around each other, even the small cravings sync up. It's almost funny, like your bodies are in a long distance dance. The seventh sign, time apart feels heavy for both of you. Now, this is big. Missing someone isn't, one-sided when the connection is mutual. If you feel restless, distracted, like something is missing when she's not around, and then she admits she feels the same, that's not just attraction, that's shared longing. Both of you are holding each other in mind and heart, even when apart. So the eighth sign is she slips into your dreams and you into hers. Dreams are strange. Part imagination, part subconscious, part energy. If she's showing up in your dreams more often and then you find out you've been in hers too, that's a strong sign that connection is running deeper than just casual thoughts. Because dreams often reflect the conversations our conscious minds can't quite put into words. So the ninth sign is you both keep bringing each other up without realizing. You're with friends and her name slips out, she's with friends and your name comes up. When someone is living in your head, it leaks into your conversations. And when it's happening on both sides, it's a dead giveaway that the thought energy is mutual. Now, the 10th sign is silence doesn't break the bond. Here's the ultimate test. When you can go hours, even days without speaking, and the moment you reconnect, it feels like no time has passed. That's when you know. Because silence usually kills connection, but if both of you are actively thinking of each other, that bond stays alive even in the quiet. Now, I will give you an expert insight. Let me step back as an expert and explain why all of this is more than cute signs. Humans are wired for connection. When attraction, emotional chemistry, and vulnerability combine, your brain literally starts to hold the other person as part of your own self-map. This means their presence, their energy, their habits, they weave into your subconscious. So when you're thinking about them, it's often because they are lost in the part of your brain that processes closeness. And when it's mutual, that's when you see these overlapping signs. The timing, the cravings, the mirrored patterns, they are all reflections of how powerful shared thoughts energy can be between two people. So here is the truth. If you've been noticing these signs, the same timing, the mirrored moods, the unshakable pull, it's not all in your head. When both of you are thinking about each other, the world around you starts to echo it. Your minds overlap, your emotions ripple together, your timing aligns. And when that happens, that's not just attraction, that's connection. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt this kind of synchronicity with someone where you just, knew they were thinking of you too? Drop your story in the comments. And if you want more insights into attraction, connection, and the psychology of love, make sure you subscribe because I've got much more coming that will change the way you see relationships forever. See you next time.